Maran Mohan Ju ki jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Vedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtatarashata Shishimar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Bhagavat Śrīla Gaur Kishoras Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarva Bhuma Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupa Anugauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Padadas Raghunath Shar Goswami Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal Gaura Mandal Vraja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Abhishta Pradakta Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund Yamuna Ganga Tulsi Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jai Śrīla Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Shishimar Bhakti Dait Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Shri Rasikānanda Prabhu ki jai. Tadiya Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hari Bol, everybody. Dandavat pranams Madhavi Didi, Indira Mataji, Ganga Mataji, Raseshwari Mataji. Hari Bol. So, looks like the internet's working pretty well today. If it does stop working, I got the Wi-Fi password for another devotee, and so I could switch to that if it ever gets bad. I'll just have to go upstairs and connect to that Wi-Fi. But looks like it's working now pretty well. All right, so today I'm going to read all harikathā from Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on vcvani.com. And yeah, Hare Krishna, Gargarajji, Dandavat Pranam. So let me move over there. Hari Bol, Pradyumna Prabhu, Mantra Murti Mataji. Hare Krishna. Alright, so let's do this. So I guess we'll start, we can start with Śrīla Bhakti Dait Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I recently read this book, Volcanic Energy. It is such an amazing book. I was thinking maybe I could do like a evening reading for my everyday. But yeah, I mean that would be after Gaur Purnima. But yeah, it's such an amazing book. So many nice stories. Accepts nothing for himself. Actually, maybe we can read this on. Yeah, let's read it just straight from the book. One second. And you can get all Vishruta Chaitanya Vani books. You can get them in Kindle format or any e-reader format for free on the VCV website. Accepting nothing for himself. Let me just type that in. Accepting nothing. There. Okay. Accepting nothing for himself. Once Guru Maharaj preached in Amritsar accompanied by 20 devotees, including Shri Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Maharaj, Shri Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj, Shri Ghanasham Brahmachari, myself, and a number of our god brothers. Lala Shri Vijñāna Das, who is the greatest contributor to the construction of the Shri Durgayana Mandir in Amritsar, had arranged for our accommodation, prasad, and whatever else Guru Maharaj and his party required. He introduced us to a milk vendor and said, "He will provide whatever milk you may require in both the morning and evening." He then introduced us to a grocer and said, "Whatever you may need, be it rice, pulses, flour, ghee, or anything else, please do not hesitate to ask him. He will provide you with whatever you need." Guru Maharaj later told us in private, "We are bhikshukas, we are mendicants. We are bhikshuks, mendicants. We should never ask for or accept anything for our own use. In fact, we are sadhus, are persons who are fully dependent upon Sat Vastu, Sri Bhagavan, and follow the principle of yatecha labhe santosh, being completely satisfied with whatever comes of its own accord by the desire of Sri Bhagavan. Additionally, tat kripavalokanam, sadhus see his mercy in every situation. So therefore, a preaching sadhu should never ask for anything for himself. Above all, a sadhu preacher should not stay in the home of a grihasta. However, if he is circumstantially compelled to stay in the home of a grihasta, he should do so in a most disciplined manner and strictly maintain the Vaishnava etiquette befitting a renunciate. He should remain satisfied with whatever the grihasta devotee provides according to his capacity. He should remain satisfied with whatever the grihasta devotee provides according to his capacity and of his own sweet will. If, out of extreme necessity, the preaching sadhu should require anything beyond what his grihasta host is capable of providing, he should request money from the bandhari or ashrami of the mat before departing on his journey, and purchase whatever is needed with that money. He should remain fervently careful that others do not find his activities to be objectionable or disgraceful. Therefore, ask neither the milk vendor nor the grocer for anything. All that we need will become available by the mercy of Sri Guru, Vaishnavas, and Bhagavan. If any of you need anything additional, then you can ask me for the money to purchase it. Although our host has told us to ask for whatever we desire, still, I will feel great shame if anyone accepts anything for his own use." Following Guru Maharaj's order, none of us asked for anything from either the milk vendor or the grocer. But when the milk vendor became increasingly insistent, we agreed to daily accept 5 liters of milk. Lala Shri Vijñāna Das, however, instructed the milk vendor to forcibly give us 20 liters. When Guru Maharaj came to know we were accepting 20 liters of milk a day, he chastised us. When we informed Guru Maharaj that we asked for nothing, but rather Lala Shri Vijñāna Das instructed the milk vendor to give us 20 liters of milk, Guru Maharaj said, "Okay, fine. Cook kheer daily with that milk, and I will offer it to Thakurji. Every evening we will distribute that kheer to the audience after harikathā." We prepared kheer daily, and Guru Maharaj happily distributed the prasad to the audience every night. After the Amritsar program had concluded, and we continued on to another program at a different location, Lala Shri Vijñāna Das told others, "The devotees stayed at my place here for 15 days, but I did not incur any costs. First of all, they did not want to take anything. Then, even when I offered, they would not accept anything. When finally I forcibly gave them something, they distributed it to everyone. They are truly uninterested in accepting anything for themselves, whether for immediate or later use. Many other visiting sadhus often ask us to provide them with supplies for their journey. But Sri Mādhava Maharaj and his traveling sadhus were uninterested in accepting supplies for themselves, even while they were staying here. What then can be said of their interest in collecting things to take with them? When Guru Maharaj manifested his disappearance pastime, Lala Shri Vijñāna Das published an article in a local Amritsar newspaper informing all about Guru Maharaj's physical disappearance from this world. He wrote, "Throughout my lifetime, I have received darshan of many sadhus who have visited Amritsar to speak ha and perform kirtan. But despite their best efforts, none of them could hide their faults from my astute perceptiveness. Sri Bhakti Dayit Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja was the only great soul who exhibited an absolutely spotless Bedaga character during his visit in Amritsar. He was, in the truest sense, a sadhu. What to speak of me? Even the most wicked of persons would be unable to detect any fault in his divine character." Shri Murari Lal Vasudev of Punjab National Bank used to accompany Lala Shri Vijñāna Das to hear Guru Maharaj's harikathā and kirtan. He, along with his 4 sons, had personally served Guru Maharaj and observed his conduct very closely. After Guru Maharaj entered a Prakrit Lila, Shri Raghunath Das, one of the sons of Shri Murari Lal Vasudev, moved to Mumbai. There he invited some preaching devotees to visit his home for some days. As soon as the devotees entered his house, a few of them demanded a few items, including 24 bars of Dove brand soap. I love how Srila Bharathi Maharaj gives all the details. Dove brand soap. Shri Raghunath Das then phoned my godbrother, Shri Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj, and asked, "Maharajji, please confirm whether or not these preachers have been sent by Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math. Perhaps they are independently traveling here. Perhaps they are independently traveling here and there to fulfill their own selfish motives in the name of preaching and helping the whole world find welfare." Shri Puri Maharaj asked, "What makes you suspect that they have not been sent by Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math?" Shri Raghunath Das replied, "When our respected Guru Maharajji, Shri Srimad Bhakti Dayit Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, came to Amritsar, all the brahmacharis and sannyasis accompanying him never accepted anything for themselves, even after being requested many times. Instead, they always insisted that they required nothing. But the devotees visiting my home today have deceitfully presented themselves as penniless and have presented a long list of demands. Their instructing tone smacks of self-righteousness and implies that they feel themselves to be doing us a great favor by staying with us." Shri Bhakti Prasad Puri Maharaj then chastised the devotees and reminded them of their duty to follow Guru Maharaj's ideal conduct of being an Uttam Sevak, a topmost servant, which is helpful in successfully spreading the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so now we'll move on to reading about Srila Jagannātha Das Bābājī Maharaj and Sri Rasikānanda Prabhu. And if there's time at the ends, then we can read some more stories from this amazing book, Volcanic Energy. But yeah, if anybody wants to get this book for free, you can get PDF or Kindle versions or versions for iPad and other devices. Right here, just here on Vishnu Chaitanya Vani website, you go to resources, publications, and you'll find it all there. I downloaded the Apple Books version here, the EPUB version, and then I added it to Apple Books. All right, so let's go back to the main page. I'm just checking the comments. Haribol, Rukmini Didi. All glories to your Param Gurudev. Haribol. Alright, so now let's find what's the next katha. Okay, Jagannātha Das Bābājī Maharaj. Alright. I'm going to put it in a different view. Let's try this. Okay. February 21, 2023 is the disappearance day of Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja in Vrindavan, India. The following is an excerpt of a Bhav Anuvad of the Katha given by Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja on February 27, 2017. Today is a very special day. It is the disappearance day of Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja. The appearance and disappearance days of a Vaishnav are both auspicious and for the eternal welfare of the conditioned souls, because such days especially invoke their remembrance. It is considered an offense if one does not observe them. The first Vaishnav Panjika. Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja instructed Srila Prabhupada to prepare the Navadvip Panjika, the Panjika, which would include all the auspicious tithis like Janmashtami, Ekadashi, and other important tithis, such as the appearance and disappearance days of various Vaishnavas. This service was specified to Srila Prabhupada due to his expertise in astrology. So it was on the order of Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja that Srila Prabhupada's Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur created the first Vaishnav Panjika in Vaishnav history. This was the contribution of Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja. The real birthplace of Mahaprabhu and Srivas Angan. Secondly, it was due to the mercy of Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja that we are able to know the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was he who indicated the birthplace of Sriman Mahaprabhu. That is why he is glorified in his pranam mantra as Gora Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Sri Jagannathaya Te Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances to Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja, who is respected by the entire Vaishnav community and who discovered the place where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Despite all the historical evidence Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur had acquired, he requested Srila Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja to confirm the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Although at that time Srila Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja was manifesting sickness pastimes and was almost 140 years old, he honored the request of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur a visit to Sri Dham Mayapur and confirming it as the exact location of Sriman Mahaprabhu's birth. Mayapur Yogapit. The photo is blurry here, but you can see there's his servant Biharidas, right? Is that his name? Yeah. Anyways, that's him carrying Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja on his head on a basket. So upon reaching the site, forgetting his advanced age, he leapt out of his basket and danced, completely lost in celebration. His servant, Biharidas, who used to carry him everywhere in a basket, was astonished to witness this. He inquired, "Oh, Bābājī Mahārāja, what are you doing? What is this pastime?" Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja responded, "Don't you see, Mahaprabhu has come along with all his associates. They are performing Sankirtan here." Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja was able to witness this, whereas ordinary people were bereft of such vision. Thus, through this pastime, he not only confirms the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but also gave us the valuable teaching that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally performing his pastimes in Navadvip Dham, and only those who are very fortunate are able to witness them. Adyapiha she lila kore gora rai, kono kono bhagyavan deki bare pai. Oh, I did not know that. I always wondered who wrote that, but that's from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Navadvip Mahatma, Praman Kanda. That is really good to know. Okay, In addition, just by feeling the earth of the location of Srivas Angan, Srila Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja successfully identified the site. Later, when some portion of the earth was dug up from that area, the skin part of the mridanga which Chandkazi broke was discovered. Mahaprabhu's associates possess transcendental vision through which they have darshan of the Dham. Therefore, it is said, Dhamera swarup spuri benayane hoibora dasi. The true form of the transcendental realm will appear in the vision of a true Dhamvasi. Kirtan by ghosts. Once his sevak Biharidas was denied permission by Bābājī Mahārāja to go and hear some kirtan performance. However, upon hearing his repeated appeals, Bābājī Mahārāja inquired, "Won't you feel scared?" Biharidas questioned, "Where is the question of being scared? You are my protector." Then Bābājī Mahārāja allowed him to go, but he prohibited him from honoring any prasad there. In fact, he instructed Biharidas to bring back and hand over the prasad to him. Biharidas did just as he was instructed. Bābājī Mahārāja noticed and pointed out that some hair and nails were present in the prasad. The next day, Bābājī Mahārāja inquired again, "Are you still not scared?" Nevertheless, Biharidas continued to visit that place for kirtan for another 2 or 3 days. Finally, those performing kirtan there confided in Biharidas, "We have committed a grave offense of devasya apaharan, stealing the Lord's wealth, the Lord's property. As a result, we are now suffering in these ghost bodies, in preta yoni. What service can we offer to Bābājī Mahārāja so that we can get liberated from this abominable condition?" In such circumstances, such an offender may receive a human body. However, he will have to sustain by begging for 7 lifetimes. The ghost offered some money to Biharidas, requesting him to offer it to Bābājī Mahārāja. Bābājī Mahārāja instructed, "Do Vaishnav Seva with this money." Bābājī Mahārāja specifically instructed him to feed the cows rather than feeding those who pretend to be sadhus. Deep respect for all the residents of the Dham. Once, when his sevak tried to drive away 4 or 5 papam to lick from Bābājī Mahārāja's plate while he was honoring prasad, Bābājī Mahārāja remarked, "Bihari, if you wish to drive away these dogs, you may as well take away my plate. They are residents of the Dham. Do not offend them." Such was his astonishing conduct. Can anyone understand this? Such pastimes are very difficult to understand. Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja's Samadhi Mandir is in. We pay our respects there by visiting every year during the parikrama. Okay, so that was Jagannath Das Bābājī Mahārāja. Now we will continue on to read about Rasikānanda Prabhu. Wow, it's only 8 o'clock. We might be able to read a lot more from volcanic energy. If anybody has any pastimes in particular that they'd like me to read from volcanic energy, let me know and I will. Okay, 1 second. Just checking the comments. Haribol, Surevi Didi. Okay, Shri Rasikānanda Dev Gosvāmī. The following is an excerpt of a Bhava Anuvad of the Katha given by Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Goswami Maharaj on February 27, 2017. Today is the disappearance day of Srila Rasikānanda Dev Goswami, the foremost disciple of Sri Shyamananda Goswami. It is our duty to glorify the Vaishnavas, especially on their appearance and disappearance days. By remembering the Vaishnavas, we reflect on their pure teachings and conduct, and such remembrance eventually inspires and leads us to understanding very clearly how to follow the path of pure Vaishnavism. A Vaishnava is on the topmost platform. Rasikānanda Dev Goswami accepted Diksha from Sri Shyamananda, who was born in a lower caste. As per Mahaprabhu's instructions, Jai bhaje she boro abhakta hina char, Krishna bhajane nahi jati kuladi vichar. That's from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Lila 467. Anyone who takes to devotional service is exalted, whereas a non-devotee is always condemned and abominable. Therefore, in the discharge of devotional service to the Lord, there is no consideration of the status of one's family. To establish this truth, Sri Rasikānanda Prabhu accepted shelter at the lotus feet of Shyamananda Prabhu. Vaishnavas try to hide their opulence. Rasikānanda Prabhu faced great opposition and was accused of not being bona fide because of having taken shelter of a non-Brahman. Generally, it was considered that only Brahmins had the privilege to study the Vedas, and thus only they could deliver the true import contained in them to their disciples. Rasikānanda Prabhu swiftly counteracted all these baseless allegations by taking an astute philosophical stance. Srila Prabhupada would always assert that as soon as one begins to propagate the truth, oppositions and obstacles will inevitably arise. To counter the powerful influence of Sri Rasikānanda, his opponents hatched a plot to eliminate him by sending a mad to attack him. Although the unalloyed devotees of the Lord possess all great qualities and mystic powers, out of their natural humility and modesty, they do not exhibit them. However, the Lord sometimes creates situations just to manifest the glories of his dear devotees. Thus, when the mad elephant charged at him, Rasikānanda Prabhu had no choice but to exhibit his prowess. By merely chanting a mantra, he immediately subdued that wild elephant and transformed him into his surrendered disciple. Such was his power. And that place where he subdued the elephant is at Kirchhoda Gopinath, isn't it? I think there's one area at Kirchhoda Gopinath. Jagannāth's loving reciprocation with Rasikānanda. One time, Sri Rasikānanda had an intense desire to attend Jagannāth's Rath Yatra, but for some reason he was unable to arrive on time. In those days, 6 chariots were deployed for the Rath Yatra because a river used to flow, dividing the road, now known as the Grand Road, into 2 halves. Whoa, really? That's so interesting. 3 chariots were required for one half of the route, and then the deities would be carried on a boat across the river, and another set of 3 chariots would take them to Gundicha. Rasikānanda Dev Goswami was delayed on the way and became very unhappy, thinking, I may not get darshan of Jagannātha on his rath. To reciprocate with Rasikānanda Prabhu, Lord Jagannath forcibly stopped the chariot, not only for one day, but for many days, allowing Rasikānanda time to arrive. Despite the intense efforts by thousands of devotees, the chariot wouldn't move. Only when Rasikānanda Prabhu arrived in Jagannath Puri and touched the rope of Jagannath's chariot did it begin to move. Such was the affection Lord Jagannath possessed for his unalloyed devotee Rasikānanda Prabhu. In this way, Lord Jagannath revealed the glory of Sri Rasikānanda. I had darshan of Rasikānanda Prabhu's birthplace by the grace and mercy of Śrīla Bhakti Kumud Santa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. The samadhi of Rasikānanda Prabhu and his disciples is located in Remuna, just behind Kirchhoda Gopinath Mandir. Today I remember him and his mercy upon all of us. Alright, so it's 8:05 and we still have 25 more minutes to read. So I'm going to just read all different stories. Well, let's see if anybody... Yeah, I'm just going to read different stories from from volcanic energy. One second though, my mouth's getting really dry. I'm just going to get some water. Oh, thanks. Thank you. Okay, let's read from this section, A Life in Service. No, we didn't. Rupmanjari Didi, we didn't read this. But your Param Gurudeva's first meeting with Srila Prabhupada in Mayapur or is acquiring Srila Prabhupada's birthplace. No, we didn't read about either of those things. So... Okay, so let's see. Meeting with Srila Prabhupada and Sri Dham Mayapur. Let's read that. Guru Maharaj told... So this is from Srila Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja's Volcanic Energy. Guru Maharaj told us that from a young age, he stayed with his maternal grandfather in Kanchanapada, along with his childhood friend Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya. Although the two were of the same age and began attending school at the same time, Guru Maharaj was so intelligent that he was twice sent to a higher standard or grade, and therefore eventually studied 2 standards ahead of Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya. Sorry, having a hard time saying his name. The two were very close friends and visited many holy places together. After finishing their studies, they stayed together in a rented apartment in Kolkata, where they would often perform kirtan together. In relating the story of how he met Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Guru Maharaj would say, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya, God, how do you say that properly? Mukhopadhyaya. Okay, anyways, Mukhopadhyaya and I once desired to have darshan of Sri Dham Navadvip. And thus we departed for Kolkata to stay in the Dham for a few days. There we stayed at the Kanchakamini Dharmashala and arranged to have our meals at a nearby hotel. While having darshan of Sri Dham Navadvip, we heard the glories of Sri Dham Mayapur and the beautiful deities of Mahaprabhu there. Because of this, I developed a great desire to have darshan of Sri Dham Mayapur. When we inquired from the local residents of Sri Dham Navadvip about Sri Mayapur, they said, "Oh dear, Mayapur is very far away. If you were to leave now, you would not reach until dark. And when you were finally to arrive, you would discover there is nowhere to stay." After the men left, an old lady standing near the bank of the Ganga said in a very soft voice, "Baba, do you see that island with a palm tree across the Ganga? That is Sri Dham Mayapur. The residents of Navadvip have misguided you because they are envious. Do not pay any attention to them. Proceed to Sri Dham Mayapur for darshan by crossing the Ganga." Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya and I heeded the old lady's words and crossed the Ganga. When we reached Sri Chaitanya Math, we saw that a festival was happening there. Inquiring from the devotees at the Math, we discovered that a famous doctor from Kolkata, Sri S.N. Ghosh, along with his wife, had accepted Diksha from the founder Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Math, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur Prabhupada. In order to honor this great occasion, the doctor and his wife arranged a festival for the service of the deities, Guru and Vaishnavas. During the festival, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya and I met Srila Prabhupada for the first time. Upon seeing us, Srila Prabhupada asked who we were and why we had come to Sri Dham Mayapur. We told him that we had come to have darshan of Sriman Mahaprabhu's Sri Vigraha. He asked, "Have you not previously had darshan of any Sri Vigrahas elsewhere?" "Yes, many times," I answered. "I have visited Haridwar, Varanasi, Gaya, and other places." "Do you think you truly had darshan of Sri Vigraha?" Prabhupada inquired. Understanding the gravity of Srila Prabhupada's question, I replied, "I certainly saw them with my eyes, but I cannot say for sure whether I truly had their darshan." Srila Prabhupada then said, "What is the benefit of going for darshan if not to have darshan in the true sense? In reality, darshan is performed not with the eyes, but with the ears. The scriptures say, Adhokshaj vastu shavanaika vaidha. Hearing is the only method one can know an entity that is adhokshaj, or beyond material sensory perception." After speaking to us for some time, Srila Prabhupada asked us to accept lunch prasad there in the mat. When I accepted his invitation, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya protested, saying, "We have already arranged to take our meals at the hotel. If we do not show up, they may become upset with us." I replied, "We are very fortunate. A Mahapurush, a great personality, has invited honor Mahaprasad here. There is no need to worry about the hotel manager. Our relationship with him is based solely on money. As long as we pay him, all will be okay." In this way, Guru Maharaj Srila Bhakti Dai Madhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja related to us how he accepted Srila Prabhupada as a Mahapurush on the very first meeting, and how he had full faith in that his words were a source of great fortune. Let's read this one also. Performing service in secret. When Guru Maharaj returned to Kolkata from Sridham Mayapur after his first interaction with Srila Prabhupada, he began to regularly visit the mutt at Sri Bhakti Vinod Asan, located at number 1 Ultadanga Road, Kolkata. I'm going to go there in a couple days. In those days, Srila Prabhupada stayed in Kolkata for the majority of his time. Guru Maharaj would listen to Srila Prabhupada's harikathā there, and by his regular association, his inclination to serve Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas steadily increased. Every evening, he would serve prasad to all the sannyasis and brahmacharis in the mutt. Although it was forbidden for a person who had not yet received diksha to serve prasad in the mutt, an exception was made for Guru Maharaj because he belonged to a high-class Brahmin family, possessed a favorable nature, and had impeccable conduct. Guru Maharaj would engage the salary he earned from his profession in the service of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas by purchasing and anonymously sending whatever they needed for their day-to-day use. While doing this, he would remember the following verse. Etavaj janmasafalyam dehinam iha dehishu pranar arthar diyavacha shreya acharanam sada. That's Srimad Bhagavatam 10:22-35. A soul that has accepted a human body will meet with all auspiciousness and success if he engages himself in following Shreya Marg, that is, engaging his life, wealth, intelligence, and words in the service of the Lord and his peace. No one in the mutt would have even the slightest clue as to who was regularly sending all those items. Guru Maharaj possessed firm faith in the essence of the principle described in Srila Jagannātha Pandit's Prem Vivarta that was often quoted by Srila Prabhupada. Gopanete atyachar gora dhare churi. Even if you misbehave in secret, Gora will catch you. Similarly, righteous activities performed in secret can never be hidden from Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas. There is no need to externally speak about the service one has rendered. If a person recounts the details of his service to one and all, it simply reveals his hidden desire to gain worldly fame. Formally accepting shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Guru. After we read this, then we can read about how Srila Bhakti Dai Madhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja acquired Srila Prabhupada's birthplace. Although the relationship between Guru and disciple is eternal, Guru Maharaj manifested the pastime of surrendering his life at the lotus feet of his Gurudev, Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur, by accepting formal initiation in Vaishnav Dharma. On the supremely auspicious day of Sri Radhashtami, 4 September 1927, Guru Maharaj accepted Harinam and Diksha from Srila Prabhupada as a favorable consequence of regularly and unfailingly hearing Srila Prabhupada's harikathā and serving the Vaishnavas. At the time of initiation, Srila Prabhupada gave Guru Maharaj the name Sri Hayagriva Das Brahmachari. Guru Maharaj's childhood friend, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya, also accepted Harinam and Diksha that very same day. Oh, I want to continue reading this. We'll still have time to read about him purchasing Prabhupada's birthplace. But let's just continue. One second, just checking the comments. Ooh, Rukmini Didi, that was your... wait, Narayan Mukhopadhyaya was your great-grandfather and great-grandmother? Or who was your great-grandfather and great-grandmother? Rup Manjari told me a couple times about this, and I just have such a terrible memory. But yeah. Haribo Ladini Shakti Didi. I'll check back to see your response to Rukmini Didi. Okay. No room for self-interest and honesty. Prior to joining the Gaudiya Math, Guru Maharaj worked for an English-owned business that purchased linseeds from farmers, packaged them, and sent them to England. Most of the employees worked under Guru Maharaj. Once it came to Guru Maharaj's notice that some of the workers were adulterating the product by replacing linseeds with sand during the packaging state. The stolen linseeds were then sold off, and the profits were shared among the thieving workers. When Guru Maharaj heard this, he approached the owner and said, "Some of our employees are engaged in extremely disgraceful act. For their petty self-interest, the reputation of the business is being destroyed. I made a huge mistake by blindly trusting them. You should therefore have me arrested. I do not even know for how long they have been engaged in such a dishonorable act. But ignorance cannot be accepted as an excuse. After you have me arrested, you may also have them arrested." The English business owner was highly astonished by Guru Maharaj's unmatched honesty. He tried to pacify Guru Maharaj by saying, "This is a delicate issue. Please be assured that we will handle it most conscientiously. Sorry. Sorry. Later, the workers were given a stern warning not to continue with their thievery, or else they would be reported to the police. Wishing only for the welfare of all. When Guru Maharaj was working in Kolkata before joining the Math, he once had a toothache. As a quick remedy to reduce the pain, one of his colleagues gave a pinch of tobacco to be kept in his gums. Throughout his life, Guru Maharaj had never even inhaled the scent of any intoxicants, and therefore, when he put the tobacco in his mouth, he fell unconscious, being unable to tolerate its pungent smell. All his limbs turned bluish. It appeared as if he had been poisoned. His colleague was astonished and unsure about what to do. Guru Maharaj was admitted to the Shambhunath Pandit Hospital. After receiving treatment, his health recovered somewhat. The doctor and the police officer asked him, "Whom do you suspect might have given you the poison?" Guru Maharaj replied, "The person who gave me the tobacco, not poison, is my friend, and he gave it to me only for my being. My body simply rejected it. There were no ill intentions." After hearing Guru Maharaj's reply, the doctor and the police officer left. The person who had offered him the tobacco then told him, "If you would have mentioned my name, not only would I have lost my job, but I would have found myself in prison as well." Guru Maharaj replied, I do not wish to be the cause of harm to anyone. I cannot falsely suspect or accuse anyone. I wish only for everyone's welfare and nothing else. Okay, so Shri S.N. Ghosh was is Rukmini Didi and Rup Manjari's great grandfather and great. That is so cool. Okay. So now, the ability to recognize unparalleled love. When Guru Maharaj took shelter of Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet, but had not yet come to reside in the mud, he stayed in a big rented house in Kolkata. An artist relative had given him an oil painting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a gift, which he hung in the hall of his rented house. He would sit in front of the painting and perform kirtan with his godbrother Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyay and his friend Sri Haridas. Once his godbrother Sri Srimad Bhakti Prakash Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja visited his home along with Sripad Kirtan Prabhu during their monthly Bhiksha collection. Seeing the portrait of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the hall, Sri Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja asked Guru Maharaj, "Do you feel happy upon seeing this very beautiful portrait of Sriman Mahaprabhu hanging on the wall?" Guru Maharaj replied, "Yes, Maharajji, I do. Sometimes I sit and chant in front of it, and I feel happy by seeing it." Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja gravely asked Guru Maharaj, "Is it the duty of Sriman Mahaprabhu to please you by remaining present on your wall, or should you be the one making endeavors to please him? Bhagavan's name and deity form, which includes his portrait, are non-different from Bhagavan himself. For his service, you should take his portrait down from the wall and keep it in a proper place." Accepting Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja's teaching with firm faith, Guru Maharaj immediately took down the portrait of Sriman Mahaprabhu, and through his own conduct demonstrated the standard by which one should show proper respect to the images of Bhagavan and his pure devotees by later sending it to Bagbazar Gaudiya Math, where it was kept on the chariot during every future Nagar Sankirtan organized by the Math. Guru Maharaj did not frivolously place such images here and there, nor did he allow any of his disciples to engage in such irresponsible conduct. When Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math was established in Kolkata, Guru Maharaj installed the paintings of the complete Guru Parampara in the Kirtan Hall. He established the standard of properly respecting such images by daily offering Dandavat Pranam to them. After Guru Maharaj took the portrait of Sriman Mahaprabhu down from the wall, Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja asked, "You have accepted Srila Prabhupada as your spiritual master. What arrangements have you made for cooking?" Guru Maharaj replied, "I have appointed an Oriya Brahman to cook for me. He is responsible for everything related to kitchen services." Hearing this, Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja confronted Guru Maharaj. "Have your hands been eaten by crocodiles? Why are you unable to cook bhog and offer it to Bhagavan on your own, without the help of others?" Before Guru Maharaj could even respond, Sripad Kirtan Prabhu whispered to Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja, "You should not speak to him like this. He comes from an affluent family. It is irrational to expect him to be able to do all the cooking himself. He has no experience with such things. Your harsh statements may make him lose faith in Gaudiya Math and become dissatisfied with us." Although Sripad Kirtan Prabhu was quietly whispering, Guru Maharaj could hear everything. Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja became even more displeased after hearing Sripad Kirtan Prabhu's statement and said, "If I will not tell him, then who will? He is my godbrother, and I therefore possess the right to say anything I wish to him at any time." Guru Maharaj became overwhelmed with joy to hear this. The mamata, the possessive affection Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja displayed for him, was unprecedented. Guru Maharaj felt eternally grateful to him for the rest of his life, and he served Śrīla Maharaj with great enthusiasm whenever the opportunity arose, offering his life to the service of the mutt. After accepting Diksha, Guru Maharaj continued to reside in a rented apartment in Kolkata. After some time, his associate and housemate, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyay, married and moved elsewhere. Thereafter, Guru Maharaj's cook, an Oriya Brahman, was the only other resident in Guru Maharaj's apartment. As was mentioned earlier, Guru Maharaj's senior godbrothers, Srimad Bhakti Prakash Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja and Shripad Kirtan Prabhu, they used to visit his apartment to collect a monthly donation. During one of their visits, Srila Aranya Gosvāmī Mahārāja affectionately said to him, "Hayagriva Prabhu, I see that you have not yet married and are living alone in Kolkata, away from your mother and stepbrothers. You must undergo great difficulty to maintain this apartment and make sure food is on the table. Despite all this effort, you are very sincerely serving Srila Prabhupada and the residents of the mutt. Why don't you take a step further and engage all your time and energy in the service of the mutt? Society will glorify the mutt upon seeing that such a young, distinguished, and well-educated person as yourself resides there. You are capable of performing many services. By joining the mutt, you will be able to serve throughout the entire day and thereby become qualified to receive the true mercy of Srila Prabhupada." Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never advised to any of his unmarried followers, including Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami, and others, to perform bhajan in the Grihastha ashram. Rather, because their parents were Vaishnavas and because they were the only children in their immediate family, he instructed them to serve their parents while their parents were still alive and to perform sadhan bhajan in Vraj only after their parents had passed away. It is my opinion that you should deeply consider dedicating yourself completely to the service of Srila Prabhupada as soon as possible. Honoring the words of his senior godbrother, Guru Maharaj abandoned all his worldly activities in a very short time and joined the mutt with a sincere and burning desire to fully engage himself in the service of Sri Hari, Guru, and Vaishnavas through his mind, body, and words. Okay, so now we'll read about acquiring Srila Prabhupada's birthplace. Let's see where that is. Yeah, there's a story of Mādhava Vachi. Mādhava, what is it? Who is it that said that? Anyways, I'll hear it soon. Oh my god, there's so many things. I'm just going to type in birthplace, then I'll find it. Oh no, there it is. There it is. Acquiring the divine appearance place of Srila Prabhupada. Just checking the comments again. Hari Bol Yashoda Didi, Dandavat Pranam. Oh, Hari Bol Rukmini Didi. What? That's so strange. I just want to... One second. I just want to see everything where Rukmini Didi and Rukmanjari's great grandfather, where he's in 3 parts of this book. Let's see. Inquiring from the devotees at the mutt, we discovered that a famous doctor from Kolkata, Sri S.N. Ghosh, along with his wife, had accepted Diksha from the founder Acharya of Sri Chaitanya Mutt, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. In order to honor this great occasion, the doctor and his wife arranged a festival for the service of the deities, Guru, and the Vaishnavas. During the festival, Sri Narayan Mukhopadhyaya and I met Srila Prabhupada for the first time. So, isn't that so neat? That's a huge service. And then let's see, on appointing acharyas. For some reason, it's not letting me skip to the end of the book. So strange. Huh. This keeps on happening. Anyways, I can get the book, the PDF. Why is it not working on this, though? I know the reason. It's because my computer's full. I need to delete something. Let me empty the trash. Empty trash. Yeah, my computer's freaking out because my hard drive is full. Let me just check the storage. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second here. Where is the storage? I might have to delete something else. Where's the storage? Oh, there. Okay, I have 5 GB available. Now it will work, I think. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. Sorry, give me 1 second. I think it should work now. There, okay. No. Okay, anyways. Let's go to here. Thanks for being so patient with me, everybody. Where was it? Acquiring the divine appearance place of Srila Prabhupada. Okay. When Guru Maharaj came to know about the possibility of acquiring the divine appearance place of Srila Prabhupada in Puri, he firstly approached Sri Srimad Bhaktivilas Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who was the presiding acharya of Sri Chaitanya Math at that time. Through Sri Srimad Krishnadas Bābājī Mahārāja, he requested him, "There is no scarcity of resources at your disposal. Please assume proprietorship of this place, so that we may all gain the fortune of visiting and offering our pranams there without restriction." Srila Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja replied, "Srila Prabhupada did not give me any specific instructions regarding the preservation of that place. Rather, he advised me to incessantly engage in the service of Sri Mayapur Dham alone, and thereby highlight the supremacy of Sriman Mahaprabhu's teachings and Sriman Mahaprabhu's Dham. Moreover, Srila Prabhupada made no endeavors to acquire the appearance place of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur." Upon receiving Srila Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja's reply, my Guru Maharaj, in the company of his godbrother Shripad Jagmohan Prabhu, took me along with him as his assistant to approach Sri Bhakti Keval Odolomi Maharaj, the then presiding acharya of Sri Gaudiya Math in Bagh Bazar, Kolkata, and request him to acquire custody of Srila Prabhupada's appearance place. Upon hearing Guru Maharaj's request, Sri Odolomi Maharaj replied, We cannot spend such an amount of money for this. Moreover, you are known as the second best donation collector of the Gaudiya Math, and therefore no financial constraints could stop you if you were to take charge of this responsibility." After their meeting, when they were returning to our math in a taxi, Guru Maharaj mentioned a Bengali proverb to Sri Jagmohan Prabhu. Bhagira ma Ganga payena. A mother with many sons does not receive the fortune of having her ashes submerged in the Ganga. The logic behind this is that each of her sons will not bother arranging for their mother's ashes to be put in the Ganga because they will all assume that the other sons will do it. As a result, her ashes never reached the Ganga. Contemplating in this way, Guru Maharaj said, "Everything will be just fine. We will try to the best of our ability to acquire this land." Who but Mādhava? In those days, the disciples of Śrīla Prabhupada would gather at the mat of Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Gosvāmī Mahārāja in Koladvip after completing Shri Navadip Dham Parikrama. When my Guru Maharaj met with his godbrothers at that time, he informs them about the opportunity to purchase the appearance place of Śrīla Prabhupada in Jagannath Puri, and he suggested they could purchase the land collectively. After discussing the matter among themselves, a few of his godbrothers pledged whatever money they could, but the total amount was almost insignificant compared to the amount needed. Feeling perplexed about what to do, Guru Maharaj said, "We will have to think of another way to collect the required funds." At that time, Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Gosvāmī Mahārāja mentioned one verse from the Nrsimha Purana. Mādhavo Mādhavo Vachi, Mādhavo Mādhavo Hridi, Smaranti Mādhava Sarve, Sarva Karyeshu Mādhavam. Mādhava is in one's words. Mādhava is in one's heart. All saintly persons remember Mādhava, the husband of Lakshmi, in all their endeavors. Although the name Mādhava in this verse refers to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, right? They remember. So although the name Mādhava in this verse refers to Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Śrīla Jajavar Gosvāmī Mahārāja spoke the verse in reference to my most worshipful Guru Maharaj, Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Dait Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and thus implied, Mādhava Maharaj is in the words and hearts of his godbrothers. All his godbrothers remember Mādhava Maharaj because he is able to collect any amount of Lakshmi, any amount of money. All his godbrothers remember Mādhava Maharaj in all their undertakings, and that is why anything can be accomplished when Mādhava Maharaj is there. What is the need to rely on anyone else? Upon hearing this, Guru Maharaj understood that his godbrothers were blessing him by entrusting this service to him alone, and so he offered his prostrated Dandavat Pranam to all of them. Thus, he happily accepted the entire responsibility of acquiring Śrīla Prabhupada's appearance place. Even the devotees of ISKCON, a large and resourceful organization, had lost all hope of acquiring this place after meeting with innumerable hardships and complications. My Guru Maharaj, however, endured various physical and mental adversities in his service of acquiring this place, and after a long time of consistent effort, he came very close to succeeding in his service. In the meantime, Sri Bhakti Pragyan Yati Maharaj, a disciple of Sri Śrīmad Bhakti Vilas Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja of Sri Chaitanya Math, submitted to the authorities of Dakshin Parshva Math, the owners of the site of Śrīla Prabhupada's appearance at that time, a lengthy collection of documents and letters asserting, "Ours is the original and real Gaudiya Math. We alone reserve the right to bear the responsibility of managing the appearance place of Śrīla Prabhupada. The institution on whose behalf Sri Mādhava Maharaj has submitted his application is not the original Math." They also submitted to the High Court a petition requesting a stay order on the transfer of the rights. Guru Maharaj was distraught to hear this news. In the beginning, before he made any independent endeavor to acquire the property, he had approached Śrīla Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja with a proposal. It was due only to Śrīla Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja's refusal that Guru Maharaj began soliciting his godbrothers for help, which later led him to accept the sole responsibility for acquiring the property. At that point, after so much endeavor, it was unfeasible for him to relinquish his role in that service. Although Guru Maharaj was upset, he was not in the slightest bit disheartened. He told me, "In the absence of this obstacle, we might have made only gradual progress in our efforts. But now, in the face of adversity, we will proceed with greater determination and make all necessary efforts to achieve success." By mercy of Śrīla Prabhupada, the transfer of the property's ownership to Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math was completed one day before the High Court was able to deliberate on the stay order. The first Vyas Puja festival of Śrīla Prabhupada at his appearance place. Wow, that's kind of intense though. Under Guru Maharaj's auspices, a grand festival celebrating the 104th appearance day of Śrīla Prabhupada was organized to be held at his appearance place on 28 February 1978. A 5-day religious conference from 26 February to the 2nd March was also organized for the occasion. During the festival, the foundation stone laying ceremony was performed amid tumultuous chants of Sri Nam Sankirtan. Guru Maharaj himself wrote invitation letters to all his godbrothers, requesting them to attend the festival. Kindly grace the occasion with your divine presence and shower your mercy upon us. Upon receiving the invitation from Guru Maharaj, devotees from all walks of life, sannyasis, brahmacharis, vanaprasthis, grihastas, and many distinguished personalities came to take part in the occasion. A few foreign devotees were also in attendance. Other than Guru Maharaj, those present at the festival included his constant companions, Shri Srimad Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Shravan Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, Shripad Krishna Keshav Brahmachari, Shripad Jagmohan Prabhu, Shripad Udharan Prabhu, Shri Srimad Indupati Das Bābājī Maharaj, and many surrendered disciples of Srila Prabhupada, the most prominent of whom were Shri Srimad Bhakti Hriday Ban Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vichar Jajavar Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Kumud Santa Goswami Maharaj, and Shri Srimad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Sarab Bhakti Sar Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vilas Bharati Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Vikas Hrishikesh Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Sodha Ashram Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Krishnadas Bābājī Maharaj, Shri Srimad Raspi Haridas Bābājī Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Prapanna Dandi Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Suhrit Bodayan Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Prapanna Damodar Goswami Maharaj, Shri Srimad Bhakti Suvrat Paramarthi Goswami Maharaj, Shripad Dr. Shyamasundar Brahmachari, and Shripad Jati Shekhar Dasa Adhikari. During the 5-day festival commemorating the Vyas Puja of Srila Prabhupada, various Vaishnavas spoke on his teachings, instructions and statements, conduct, character, and personality from a multitude of viewpoints. During that ongoing sequence of heart-touching narrations, Shri Srimad Bhakti Hriday Ban Goswami Maharaj, with great ease and a heart filled with joy, said to all those present, "Now that we have been bestowed with the opportunity to construct a Gaudiya Mat's place of Srila Prabhupada, all his disciples will be extremely pleased to annually gather here at his birthplace in honor of his Appearance Day festival, and at his Samadhi pit in Sridham Mayapur to honor his Disappearance Day festival. Of this there is no doubt." There's so many beautiful things to read here, but I'm gonna stop now because it's 8:43. I didn't even realize the time. But yeah, if you wanna continue reading from this book, then you can download it here from vcvani.com, resources, publications. And actually, a long time ago, not like maybe a month ago or something, I was thinking to start a daily program to read from this every day in the evening times. But I never ended up getting around to it. But I do still hope to do it, maybe after Gaur Purnima sometime when things calm down a bit. Yeah, I'd love to read daily from this book because there's so many amazing stories. So, all right, everybody. Haribol Pavatarani Mataji. And Rukmini Didi, Dandavat Pranams. And everybody else. See you all tomorrow. We'll continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavatam. I would normally like to read this evening more about Srila Bhakti Madhava Goswami Maharaj, but I have a very busy couple days here. Yeah, I'm going to be going back to Navadip on the 23rd. So, and there's a lot to do before I leave. So, all right, Dandavat Pranams. Jai Shri Radhe. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Haribol, Haribol, Nitai Gaur Haribol. Oh, and Rukmini Didi, is that book available as a soft copy anywhere? Because yeah, maybe I could read from both of those. See, that's what I was thinking of doing, is just making it a daily program to read. Just making it like, I thought it'd just be a nice program for myself to end the day every day reading the glories of our Guru Varga. And so I was thinking we could read all different books. We can read this volcanic energy, and then we can read also, that would be great to read your Gurudev's biography of your Param Gurudev. So yeah, I think after Gaur Purnima time we can make a plan and we can have a daily program. I think also your Chaitanya Gaurimat is now like republishing books, right? I wonder if that's also in the works. They're republishing, like I'm going through all the previous publications and checking them again and improving them and then republishing them, right? So yeah, anyways, I'd like to know more about that later on. All right. Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Vihari Ju ki Jai, Shri Govana Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudev ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Vamana Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhaktivedanta Swami Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupa Rashata Rashata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gorksharas Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannātha Bābājī Mahārāja ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Shri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga ki Jai, Śrīla Bhakti Vallabha Nitya Lila Pravishta Shishimar Bhakti Vallabha Tirtha Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Shishimar Bhakti Śrīla Bhakti Vijñāna Bhāratī Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Nitya Lila Pravishta Shishimar Bhakti Daita Mādhava Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Swaparikara Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai, Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopala Bhattadasa Raghunath Shara Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshada Vrinda ki Jai, Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Vraja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki Jai, Sarva Abhishta Pradata Giriraj Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kunda ki Jai, Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki Jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki Jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki Jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki Jai, Shri Rasikānanda Prabhu ki Jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki Jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavascha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sandubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, everybody. Okay, so you have it, but it's been a long time since. All right, maybe I can message Mahalakshmi Didi about that. She probably also. Actually, I wanna if when I'm not so busy, I'd like to help with the your Gurudev's publications and like that, with adding in diacritics, because that's because I like to read the books, and when I read the books, I like to serve them at the same time. Like I can do two things at once. So I'll find out about that. All right, Dandavat pranams, everybody. Haribol. See you all tomorrow.